My name is Lisa Burial Ateno Ondik Makeda. I am known for having my 5 names. I'm a proper Luo girl. I am a professional project management consultant and an operational strategist, both by training. I am also a counseling psychologist by training. My passions are in the things of God, so I serve in the worship team at Nairobi Chapel Lavington. I've discovered I'm passionate about life and just seeing what it could be. Family was the biggest space where I felt Zindua really answered a lot of questions for me and also just opened spaces for me to think about. I come from a broken family. My parents separated when I was 9, and it wasn't easy just understanding that this happened, and no child grows up thinking my parents would one day not live in the same house and I won't have the same things I had when my parents were together, and life would just be different. And it's very complex when a child has to understand by themselves that parents are human beings. And I make jokes about it, but my father chose the war. He is always in some war-torn country or another, and it makes him happy. So, at the end of the day, we still communicate, but growing up, you're not thinking, I'll turn 9 and my parents are not together anymore, and we don't have a home anymore because it's repossessed by the bank, and you have to start from zero again. You don't intend or you don't dream as a child that you will turn 11 and your mom is in depression and you have to raise your kid brother. So family for me was a space where I had a lot of questions, a lot of unsolved trauma, where just interacting with my family was a task in itself. But Zindua allowed me to understand a few things. And it's funny because I did Zindua with my mom. It wasn't planned. My mom came across the book and she started reading it. And interestingly, we started having conversations about it. And sometimes when I'd be at work and a class is going on and I'm probably in a mat, I'd ask her to join in the link and then read out to me what we're going through. So we actually went through it, and it improved my relationship with my mother, because after a very long time, I understood why she was the way she was. I understood why she kept a lot of things to herself. I understood why she was just, set apart and not happy most of the time. I remember around when I was a teenager, my mom always had a packet of Panadol for headaches. And in that cup box, there's so many of them. And she'd never go anywhere without that. But then doing Zindua and just speaking to her and going through it with her. And with my training now, I understand she had psychological pain. And it manifests as physical pain. And Zindua allowed us to talk through these things. And I can tell you for free, my mom is now happier. And what that has done for me and my family and how I look at family is, first of all, people are just people. And we all can place expectations on people, but we have to accept that it's human nature not to be perfect, because it's progress over perfection. For me, family is now, cherish it when you have it. I'm raising kids now from my late sister, and I love them. And I'm trying to give them what I feel like I didn't have, but also looking at it very differently, that unlike my mom who didn't talk to us about her problems, I'm going to talk to my children. I'm going to tell them, today I am feeling like this, and I want you to understand it's not about you, it's just about this situation. I'm learning that it's easier to treat family as human as possible and understand that everyone has a good day and everyone has a bad day. But family right now, for me, is not about expectations. It's about every moment. It's about making memories. It's about, being there for each other when we can. And I can tell you for free right now, our relationship It's amazing. You should see me and my brothers, and you wouldn't say 10 years ago, if you looked at us, you wouldn't say we would be here today. And I'm really, really thankful that we all got to understand that trauma is just trauma. You either deal with it or it haunts you for the rest of your life. I remember the first time Mr. Nzaya came and introduced Zindua. I think the first line he said was, there's a trajectory you're taking. I'm listening to this man and I'm thinking, bro, what? See, that's how life is supposed to be. Like, we work hard, and when we are 50, we have money, we have family. You know, it's like you have milestones to achieve. And then now here's Mr. Nzaya saying, nah, reset. I remember asking him, and everyone laughed, but I was serious. Like, Santa, dude, I didn't understand. What was I supposed to do now? Stop the way I was living, stop searching, stop. I didn't get it. But Zindua allowed me to see a few things. So way before Zindua, life for me was work, make money, work, make money, work, make money. What that does is I didn't have a social life. I didn't take care of myself. I am a choleric, so we tend to be workaholics and perfectionists. So I'd work 12, 13 hours, not rest. If something popped in my brain in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and work on it until I solve it. A little bit obsessive, but that's who I was. Because I thought if I can solve this, then I can make enough, and then my family would never have to go through the things I went through, and my children would never have to lack anything. But then Zindua is like a wrecking ball. It slaps you back into factory reset, because what I realized was I also need to rest. And I also need to have a life. And there's working hard and there's working smart. And the choice was mine. If I decided to work hard, it doesn't mean I was going to get all the things I was working for. But if I decided to work smart and have time for other things as well, then probably I could be a better parent, a better person, a happier person, really. Because when you're a workaholic, you're grumpy all the time. You're unsociable. You're a carcass of yourself, because the things you think you're working for, the things that are important, are not really important. And what Zindua taught me is that money is never enough. It's never going to be enough. It's never going to get to a point where your bank tells you, we don't need your money anymore, you have enough. It's never going to happen. You'll keep wanting and wanting and wanting, but then you have to place value on, this is who I am. I can work, yes, but I also need to rest for me to be able to work tomorrow. I also need to socialize. I need time for God, and I need time for me, because a lot of the times I didn't have time for myself. And if anyone asked me, how are you? I'd say I'm okay. But deep down, I wasn't okay. I couldn't sleep really well. And I found myself crying at night. You just wake up in the middle of the night and you're in tears and you don't know why you're crying. So for me, Zindua was a place to just understand that money comes and goes, but your lifestyle has to reflect rest, has to reflect love, and it's up to you to find that love or create it around you. So nowadays, I actually go for coffee. I have friends now. I go for hangouts. I go for hikes. I have shocked myself over the past 1 year. Now I feel tired. I say I am tired. I put a pin in it and I go sleep. I have developed a habit of sleeping up to 9 hours, 8 hours. And that's healthy for me. A lot of the health problems I had now, I don't know where they went to, because I didn't go to hospital, but they disappeared. I've not been hospitalized for fatigue in the last 1 year, which for me is big. It's big. Because I was the type that would be hospitalized, I'm not sick, but the doctors will just give me 1 injection and I'd sleep 2 days. Then they'd tell me, go home, you're okay. So I didn't understand, but now I do. And I appreciate the fact that I went to Zindua, through Zindua, and I understood that life is not always about moving. What's next? Take a break. Internalize, this is where I am. Have fun a little bit, Have fun a little bit, and then, you'll pick it up from where you find it, because at the end of the day, tomorrow takes care of itself. Being a workaholic and being very antisocial just means your relationships suffer. This is both your familial relationships and your social relationships. And my familial relationships were cut at, what do you want? Once I give you that, we are done. Go find someone else to solve your other problems. You're so emotionally removed from people and situations that you find yourself in toxic cycles. And social relationships for me were very hard because I grew up telling myself, you're an introvert, stay by yourself, So even intimacy, just understanding, knowing other people, you get to an age and guys are wondering, why are you not married? You've not even seen a boyfriend. But people didn't understand it was hard because you're looking at people as, do I really need this? Maybe I should go to work and work instead. And there's also that fear of you're coming from trauma, from a broken family, and you're feeling, I don't want these cycles to repeat themselves. So no, imagine I can't entertain that. I'll just go this way and then you guys go that way and then we'll be okay. But then Zindua teaches you that you don't choose what happens to you in life because it's either a lesson or a blessing. And it challenged me to just open myself up, to just even listen to people, have a conversation with someone. Doesn't mean a thing, just have a conversation. And you'd be shocked if I tell you now, people can invite me for parties, Christian parties, and I go to them because I want to see what, I also want to understand when people say we're having fun just sitting together and talking, what it's about. I want to experience my age. I want to experience circles where people my age or even older have gone through the things I have gone through. I want to learn from their experiences. I want to learn from their mistakes. And the only way to do that is create relationships that matter. So that for me was huge. In my office now, everyone keeps asking me, what is this Zindua? What is this Zindua? Because one thing I learned is Zindua is not just a program. And I say this because I've facilitated a number of programs professionally and people just go to programs, but Zindua is not a program. I can say this with a lot of conviction. Zindua is a way of life because the things you learn live with you for the rest of your life. And the fact that you even have a book to take you through it means you can go through this over and over again. And one thing I'd tell someone out there who's contemplating joining Zindua or someone who's heard of Zindua is, for me, Zindua is like an anchor now. There are days where I wake up and I doubt myself and I go back to the chapter on dreams and I validate my dreams and I get back up and I move. That's why for me Zindua is a way of life. So if you're out there and you want to do Zindua, by all means, it's life-changing.